we are here. We are here. We are back. It's your guy Hector Beauchamp with Uptown Sports TV, and I got my guy Brian Fonseca in the building. Brian, how you feeling tonight, brother?
You're still
Yes.
You're still in Atlanta right now.
Yes, sir.
And it's crazy that you're there and the Yankees are about to play. Because you were there for All-Star. We have a bunch of shit to get into as it relates to the All-Star game, but like MLB All-Star game was a pretty good one this year. I gotta say.
They definitely showed out. The legends were on full display. Obviously, I have to brag, Brian. I was able to hang out with Ken Griffey Jr. for about like 15 minutes in the dugout, and
that's right,
talking shit with Ken Griffey, which was awesome. Also, shout out to Marvin Freeman, another legend, Kenny Lofton, Nick Swisher, my guy Jazz Chisholm as well. It was just awesome. This entire experience, Major League Baseball, they did right with the All-Star game. And I know it's a lot of fans can have debates about the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball. When it comes to their All-Star weekend, I think is the top, if not the best, out of the major three sports.
So, okay. I think there's a lot here that's worth getting into because with Jonathan says not exactly morning brew anymore. Salute to everybody in the chat.
Facts.
I think if you're so we're going to talk about All-Star games just from a big picture perspective. I think with Major League Baseball, theirs has gotten better because what really helped was in terms of just the week overall, the events, it's really just the home run derby and the All-Star game. And then like the other events too, like the HBCU games, celebrity game, all these kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do a great job with, first of all, the clock in the home run derby, game changer.
Yeah, big time.
Like that's the one thing for me where I'm like, okay, that's forward thinking. The All-Star game, the fact that the American League come back after it looks like it was going to be a dud.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this home run off, penalty kick style home run off.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to see that in the regular season. I think that's too gimmicky for like actual games. But for the All-Star game, I'm like, yeah, because you're just trying to get everybody home. You're trying to get everybody out of there.
Yeah.
And then when you look at other All-Star games, it's like people complain about the NHL one. I don't really. Hockey's one of the only sports I don't follow that closely to like really give you like, okay, the skills challenge is this and what have you. But I know for football, they don't even do a game anymore. They just play flag football and they do a bunch of events, which actually looks fun, but it's, a lot of people don't really like it like that. They don't watch it like that. And then with basketball, we know their All-Star weekends, they got a lot to figure out, and it's getting worse. So baseball has got the upper hand right now as it pertains to the major sports. WNBA is going to have their All-Star weekend this weekend. That looks like it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully better than the NBA's. I think it probably will be, to be honest with you.
Yeah, shout out to the WNBA. Shout out to Angel Reese as well, who has been killing it the past couple of weeks. Shout out to her, she's doing her thing. But when it comes to the All-Star weekend or just entire time out here in Atlanta, when you look at that home run off, like that swing off or whatever they decide to call it, I loved it. But at the same time, where was Aaron Judge? Where was Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah.
Where is the big, like, no shade to Jonathan Aranda. Like him and we had a great interaction. I was literally sitting behind his family. He's amazing. But where was Judge? Where was Ohtani? That's what we needed to have in that type of a swing off.
Do we know if they were asked and just declined?
Well, it's not that the day before is when the managers, both Aaron Boone and Dave Roberts, during the post-game press conference, Dave Roberts told us that he asked the players and Boone asked the players the day before to be like, hey, would you guys want to do it just in case? And obviously Judge is not playing the whole game. Like Jazz Chisholm, shout out to Jazz Chisholm, who played every inning in the All-Star game, which I thought was hilarious. But no, Shohei Ohtani was already gone. And Aaron Judge was in street clothing, already leaving by the time that the swing off happened.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I gotta tell you, Brian, Shohei Ohtani did during the red carpet. Shout out to Shohei and his wife. They looked amazing, beautiful couple. But they did their best impersonation of the Flash, because the way they just swooped down that red carpet, didn't stop for anybody or anything. That was pretty dope. That was pretty funny. But the red carpet event also was a nice touch. Seeing the players being able to show their personality. Shout out to Jazz Chisholm as well. If you guys follow me on TikTok, I know we're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, on both Uptown Sports TV and Brian's channel on YouTube. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on TikTok right now. I was on TikTok live the entire time, and the amount of fans that enjoyed that, Brian, the players coming up and saying what's up to the people. Again, selfishly, as a content creator, as somebody that works media, but as a fan, my inner child was very excited this weekend.
Do you think they should continue to do home runoffs? One, for the All-Star game, and
Yes.
two, do you think there's a place for it beyond the All-Star game? Is my question.
Beyond the All-Star, if the World Baseball Classic, maybe, but during the regular season,
I
don't think. That's why I said
not
maybe.
Do that shit during the World Baseball Classic.
That's why I said maybe. I can see it being in the World Baseball Classic before seeing it being in the regular season, because this is why. Hold on, this is why. Because Kyle Schwarber said the reason why the players enjoyed it is because you're getting the players off the field fast and you're not risking injury with players having to play extra innings. So that's kind of the same thing with the World Baseball Classic. You want to limit the injuries, and that may do it.
I disagree, because I'll tell you why. If we're both Puerto Rican, if Puerto Rico plays DR in the semifinals and that shit is 5-5 after 9 innings, and that goes to a home runoff, I'm gonna be pissed. All right. If you know what I mean, first of all, we're probably not winning a home run off against them dudes.
No, you're right.
And second of all, it's like I don't blame.
Well, I got faith. Hold on. I got faith in Javi Baez.
Yeah,
I got faith in both of them. My fault. I have to talk my shit.
Fair. But here's the real thing though. Like here's a 75% serious point I'm gonna make. Now this is a completely serious, but I might do it with a smile on my face. Here's the thing though. If you're looking at doing this in a World Baseball Classic, I would not. What's up to everybody in the chat? I can't do it, because the World Baseball Classic, that shit means more to not a little bit of the players, like a good amount of the players. Mm-hmm. Because again, people in this country want people to be patriotic with America only. Mm-hmm. And everybody who's not only from America is like, I mean, bro, like, we like where we're from also. You know what I'm saying? Like, so those games mean a lot more to just end them with a home run off. I don't like it. And you brought up the injury point. What I would say to that is this. Like, this is why I defend players playing in the World Cup. I defend players playing in this summer for basketball. They're going to have the Asia Cup, the Afro Basket Tournament, the Eurobasket Tournament, and the AmeriCup. Basically, the continental cups for all the regions, right? For Africa, for the Americas, for Europe, and for Asia/Oceania, which is New Zealand, Australia. And I think players should be enticed to play in those things in across sports. I think teams should want players to play internationally. And if they're worried about injuries, cut your own season down, because we don't need 162 baseball games. We don't need 82 NBA games. Like that's the real problem, is like we have schedules here for our leagues here that are not replicated, not even close anywhere else. If you look at basketball, for example, if you're a good NBA team, you might play 100 games in a year, because you're playing 82 plus a few preseason games. And if you have 2 rounds of playoffs, you're already getting to 100 games. The best teams in Europe probably play 60-something games in a year. The best teams probably play 60-something games in a year. Every team here plays more than that. I think it's a scheduling thing that's specific to the Americas, and that's the issue. But they're never going to cut down on the games because money. Everything just goes back to money.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's going to go down to money. As a fan, I can't see a world that doesn't have 162 games of the baseball season, but you never know. They're talking about putting a salary cap in Major League Baseball in the next collective bargaining agreement. I'm just going to let you guys know right now, it's going to be a lockout in the NBA. Just be prepared. There will be a lockout.
In the NBA, you think?
In the MLB.
Maybe in the NBA too. Listen, their CBA is worse right now, and that, I think they have an option, a mutual opt-out in like 28 or 29. I think it's the 28-29 season after that. So a few more years, there'll probably be an NBA lockout.
Yeah, I want to shout out the chat real quick. Shout out to my guy Old Sarge that's in the building. I got to play this music. My guy Old Sarge, how you doing, Sarge? Hope all is well. And shout out to the chat. Like always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys are following us on all platforms. If you're on Uptown Sports TV, the link is in the bio for Brian's channel. Make sure you guys give him a subscribe, and vice versa as well if you're on Brian's channel. And I'm live on TikTok as well, folks. If you're on TikTok, click the link in the bio. First of all, drop a heart me. Keep on tapping the screen. I love you guys on TikTok, but we're over here on YouTube. Come and join the conversation. When it comes to that, you brought up the All-Star game and the AL team losing towards the end of the game. And it's just something that I wanted to point out to all you Yankee fans out there. You got to give some type of credit to Aaron Boone because he was playing his right pieces and was able to make some right substitutions, some pinch hitting decisions that actually came through, and the AL team came back and tied it up, forcing extra innings. So I just want to give some shout outs to some credits to Aaron Boone. I am an Aaron Boone supporter. I am a simp for the New York Yankees.
Forgot you're an Aaron Boone guy. I do you get a lot of shit for that, by the way?
I do get a lot of shit for that also. Oh, also too, this is my home run ball. From the All-Star game, everybody.
Who hit that one?
Home run derby. This was from Junior Caminero, one of his last ones that he hit.
It's a shame he couldn't win.
Yeah, I was rooting for him.
I thought him or O'Neal Cruz would take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think with the All-Star game they do a good job, and I think I like the home run off. I just kind of think you just keep it at the All-Star game.
My old Sarge, go ahead. You can read it.
I don't agree with this comment, but I'll read it. Nobody gives a shit about basketball, hockey, or soccer that much. People won 162 games of baseball. I don't know about that.
Shout out to Sarge in the building. Hector, my man, I appreciate you as well. Hector, thank you again for the $9.99 super chat. Helping us keep the lights on over here. If you guys can, drop a super chat, whether it's on my channel or Brian's channel. It helps when it comes to pay for the restream and for the StreamYard and for the Canva and the things that goes into powering and keeping these podcasts alive. But go ahead, Brian. I'll toss it over to you, bro.
I watch hockey when the Rangers are good. I could say that much. I'm Puerto Rican. We don't watch hockey like that, bro.
I was just about to say, I was that drop from WFAN. Nobody cares about hockey, bro.
You know, playoff hockey is shit. But I used to follow hockey more when I had time. I'm such a casual now. I'll like pop in. I'll be like, I know Connor McDavid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know Barkov. I can't give you a ton. But
Bro,
yeah,
I just learned what icing was over the past 6 months. So I'm
really.
Yeah,
Did you not ever play like NHL like NHL 2K5, NHL 04?
Nope.
I was not 94, I guess.
I was MVP baseball 2005. That was my franchise, and then MLB The Show. Best baseball video game of all time.
I have a PlayStation 2 emulator on my phone, and I have MVP baseball 2005.
You're gonna have to give me the name of it after the show.
Yeah. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I played it on one of my vacations not that long ago, and I was like, dude, I might just end up staying in the hotel. But let me the soundtrack was incredible. Both MVP baseballs, 04 and 05, the last two, that is. I don't even know where we were, but shit, this is what happens when you get me talking about video games, bro.
The All-Star game, Aaron Boone and his decisions.
I mean, yeah, like I like that people gave a shit about the All-Star game. That's the other thing. That's the thing that I like about the baseball All-Star game.
Yeah.
Like the American League gave enough of a shit to come back. This doesn't happen in other All-Star games. Like again, you know this. I cover basketball and boxing are the sports I cover the closest. Although I try to stay on top of everything, and baseball is right behind that. But with basketball and the All-Star game, like if it gets to like 15-20, like you don't get a ton of comebacks like that. And people want players to give a shit, and players are kind of like, why? Because the season is long. We're doing a lot of shit, and they're doing a lot of media. I think basketball players probably do more media than baseball players in the All-Star game, because All-Star weekend is so long. Like there's events all over the place. If you go there, they're shutting down the city. There's events all over the place, and it's going from early Friday. At night, they have the Celebrity All-Star Game and the formerly the Rookie Sophomore Game. Now it's just the Rising Stars Challenge. But all day, guys are doing events. Like they have a pop-up with this phone store. They have something with this clothing brand. They have something doing this. And these are all All-Stars, so they all have deals and shit. Saturday is the same thing throughout the day. And then you have obviously the 3-point shootout, dunk contest, all those different things that people pop out for, even if they're not competing in it. And then the actual All-Star Game, which they're doing too much with. I don't know how you fix that shit, but Adam Silver looks like they're gonna try USA versus the world and see if that's a jolt for anybody.
I want to shout out the few people. We got some people on TikTok Live, right? Again, Brian, thank you for introducing me to Restream because now I could go on TikTok Live at the same time. So shout out to you. I just want to say shout out to Lena, who says, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. I can't choose between PR and DR or picking Aaron Judge because he's a USA cap. So Lena is stuck in the middle. We got J. Joe in the chat who says, Mariano is his business partner. My man, if you want to Zell me and Brian. But shout out everybody that's on TikTok, guys. Tap that screen. Let's get over 1,000 likes, and shout out to my friend Jesse over there in the building as well. Brandon Baseball Blogs on TikTok says we may finally move into our new place next week on Friday. Shout out to you, Brandon. But getting back to the All-Star game, listen, like you said, people gave a shit about it. And this is something that when you look at the NBA, again, I'm not sure if the players don't go hard. You know, a lot of people complain about no defense, but when you see the players this past All-Star game with Major League Baseball, both the American League and National League caring about the game in a late inning situation, Kyle Schwarber said it in the post-game press conference that it's interesting being in Atlanta and him and Pete Alonso, him and Lindor was asking who's going to get it worse. Like, who's going to get booed worse, like me or you? Like, joking. Like, and Matt Olson is like, I think both of y'all going to get it worse. Like, joking with your division rivals. And to see at the end of the game during the swing off, the Braves fans in the building, because it's a National League, cheering on Kyle Schwarber during that swing off, that goes to show you how great baseball is.
I wonder if, like, were people pissed about how friendly the players were with each other? Because that's kind of a thing in basketball where, like, oh, why is everyone being friends? Yada, yada, yada. Less so at the All-Star game, but.
No. Like, I was down there when, like, Judge and Caminero and Vladdy was doing BP. And at the end, Vladdy and Judge, they was like, all right, we're going to have a swing off. I got 5 swings. You got 5 swings. And everybody gathered around for Aaron Judge and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to have their swing off. Joe Torre was there as well. Like, Brian, I thought I died, honestly.
Yeah, I would imagine. I thought about doing the NBA All-Star game this coming season. We'll see. Where is it? As a matter of fact, I should probably know this. Where's the MLB All-Star game next year?
Philly.
It's in Philly, right? I thought so.
That's going to be a good one because the stadium is right in the middle of the city. Truist Ballpark, like it's beautiful, like in Atlanta, but you have to have a car in order to get there. Like, the outside of it is dope. It's awesome to walk around. They have so much, but being like in Philly, I'm excited for that because it's literally smack dab in the middle of the city. I won't have to worry about renting a car. I'm just going to need an Airbnb or a hotel.
NBA All-Star games in LA next year. Jesus.
Oh.
We were not even like, oh, that's gonna be dope. We were both like,
yeah, that's
hell.
gonna go.
Oh my god! If there's one place the All-Star game probably will be dangerous, other than Miami, most dangerous, LA for sure.
My guy Sarge in the chat. Aaron Boone, bleep. I'm not gonna say that. Cut and dry. I don't care if he's making decisions about relief pitching in the postseason or choosing between paint or wallpaper at his house. He will always come up wrong. Sarge, better help. I could get you a discount code. We're gonna make sure we get a sponsor for it because Yankee fans, we need therapy session when it comes to our relationship with our baseball team. But no, I get
fans
you,
too. Believe me.
Yeah.
Especially with the trade deadline coming up.
I appreciate you, Aiden. Shout out to my guy Li Yankee King. Hector, you bring that negativity shit down. Absolutely.
I don't think he's talking to you. He's talking to the other Hector.
Oh, okay.
Because he responded, nah.
Shout out to the folks in the chat, guys. We got over 100 people watching us collectively. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and hitting that follow button, whether you're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook. But the home run derby, I want to just show this real quick, just to go over the numbers. Right in the first round, shout out to James Wood, and Brett. Like you had guys going off. Jazz Chisholm, he had 3 home runs. You know, I still give credit to Jazz. That's my guy. I ain't gonna talk bad about my man Jazz. But everybody else showed out. Double-digit home runs. You had Byron Bruxton with 20 in the first round. Junior Caminero put on a show. O'Neal Cruz put on a show as well. What was your thoughts about this? I'll bring this down so we could see.
Yeah,
see the
like
face.
I was wondering if anybody's gonna what's the strategy here? Mm-hmm. And I think the benefit is really you want to be in that second half because you're gonna have a magic number, quote unquote, that you're gonna want to get to. Like I need 18 home runs, so it's okay. I can get to whatever the number is and just be done instead of just trying to. Because if you're first, you have to like set the tone, and that's risky. Because if you hit 24, you're not gonna have shit in the rounds after. And we saw guys because it was humid. We saw guys getting tired and all these things. Like it's ridiculous. So I think it's beneficial late. I'm forgetting. Tell me which year was it where somebody hit seemingly all their home runs in the first round? I don't think it was the Josh Hamilton year, but it was
that was Bobby. That was Bobby Abreu, who
okay.
Like majority of his home runs in the first round. But that's when the first round when those home runs carried over, so that's what helped Bobby Abreu win that home run. But Josh Hamilton didn't win that home run derby that he hit in. Like that's what people don't. That's
yeah, I remember. Yeah, he hit. Wasn't it the round before he had like 28 or some shit like that?
Something like that. It may have been him that you're talking about because I know Bobby Abreu, he had a shit ton in the first round, but I think Bobby Abreu won his home run derby. I don't think Josh Hamilton won. Josh Hamilton didn't win his.
I think it was
find that video.
I think it was probably the Josh Hamilton one. I think it was. I think yeah. But I think it's right now because of the implementation of the clock. The home run derby is the best, probably all-star game event. Like I enjoy it more than a dunk contest at this point, and it's not because every dunk has been done, so to speak. It's just because like the actual dunk contest just hasn't been great for a while. Like there's been a couple of good ones here and there, but for the most part, you haven't really gotten like to see the best of the best, so to speak. The skills challenge is fine. I think they're getting too gimmicky even with that. Like I liked it when they just had 8 in a tournament and that was it. They had one year where it was a tournament of 8 and it was bigs and it was guards and then you had a big versus a guard at the end. I think Bam Adebayo ended up winning that. And then with the 3-point shootouts, cool. It's also gimmicky because they added a Sprite home run. I mean, Sprite home run. You hear me? A Sprite, a Sprite ball or whatever, or not Sprite, Starry. Excuse me. The same fucking soda, but like different name. They added the Starry ball. They have like instead of a money ball, you have a money rack. Do you know what Starry used to be? Was it not Sprite? No, it was Sierra Mist. Oh, all right. Same color. It's just rebranded. Yeah, they just rebranded, changed their name. The same color. Yeah, they got Ice Spice to do some commercials, and now they're like, "Oh yeah, let's have our ball in the fucking NBA All-Star game." Like, and then with hockey and football, it's like there's no comparison. The home run derby has the best shit right now of all the All-Star game events. Yeah, the home run derby, hands down, the excitement in it. Again, seeing Brave fans, and I know this was a swing off, right? So, but I'm still considering it kind of in the same realm. Seeing Brave fans cheer on players from the Braves, from the other team, from the Phillies. When Pete Alonso hit that home run, Brave fans was cheering on Pete Alonso while he was rounding the bases and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. I recorded that when he hit the home run, and my editor messaging me was like, "You do realize like this is like the 11th home run of Pete Alonso that you captured on your phone and sent it to me." So shout out to the polar bear. Listen, I think everyone represented themselves. I think the tribute that they did to Matt Olson, to Freddie Freeman,
taking him out the game during that time. Dave Roberts played the smart so Freddie Freeman could get that shower from the Brave fans. I thought that was awesome. The tribute that they did for Hank Aaron was beautiful, left goosebumps, like that light display on the field. I'm not sure if you saw it, Brian, but that was awesome as well.
The Hank Aaron tribute, the cancer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the HBCU stuff.
Yeah, the HBCU stuff was good. I think the Futures game as well was phenomenal.
I always like the Futures game.
Future Mets, future Yankees, George Lombard Jr. I was able to get a question into him. And again, shout out. This is how you can tell, like, well, I ask people, like, would you like a slice of pizza or a chopped cheese? It tells about your character. If you say a slice of pizza, I can tell you grew up in a bougie neighborhood. If you say a chopped cheese, I can tell you grew up how I grew up. You grew up from the hood. Like, because we got to have a chopped cheese breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Wait. Hold on. Pizza can't be bougie. Like,
no, I didn't say bougie. I didn't say bougie. I mean, like, you came from, like, a proper, like, you came middle class. Like, you like suburbs. You feel me?
You came in the class.
You came from middle class, you know?
What are you talking about? Like, it's pizza. It's not like fucking.
But there's not a pizzeria in every hood. Like there's not in like every neighborhood or whatever. It's not a pizzeria. There's at least 3 or 4 bodegas on a block, and at least 2 of them sell a really good chopped cheese.
I was born on a snowy day. My dad says that on the way home, holding me in one arm, he was holding a box of pizza on the other. Okay. Like, I was born with a box of pizza is essentially what I'm telling you. Pizza's not my favorite food or anything like that, but
you gonna go hard for pizza.
No. I'm not even that. I'm just saying, like, that shit is not like, I mean, the pie was probably back then, mid 90s. We're talking about, I don't know how much pizza was, but it wasn't no fucking $14 like you see the pies now, or 30 in some neighborhoods.
Oh, I was gonna say $14. That's cheap, $14. But you get a $14 pie, they $25, $20, $30.
The small ones, like the 9-inch or whatever it is, the 12 or what, I don't know. But listen, man, like I'll tell you what, chopped cheese though, like, yeah, you had to go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you grew up different.
Yeah,
especially if you got it with like an Arizona or some shit.
Shout out to Theo Dennis in the building, who says, I'm a Ninja Turtle, so it's pizza for me. Shout out to my guy Theo Dennis, who is in the building. If you guys are ever watching the Yankee game, if you guys see the bleacher creatures, the man with the big ass wrestling belt, that's Theo Dennis. So shout out to Theo Dennis, one of the OG original bleacher creatures that are in the building. We got over 100 people watching collectively. Keep on double tapping that screen.
Froggy Fresh says, I feel you, Heck. I was born with a Taco Bell crunch wrap in my name. I'll tell you what, people talk shit about Taco Bell. Their nacho fries are amazing.
I haven't had them yet. I haven't had them yet.
The nacho fries are, I don't even eat fast food like that anymore, just because, like, I just try not to because of health reasons. But like, the nacho fries from Taco Bell, that's one of the best fast food items I've had in a minute. Anytime that they come back, because they're like, you know, they go away, they come back, they go away. When they're back, I try to get them at least once. I don't really like too much else from Taco Bell, though. I ain't gonna hold you.
There was this one thing that I saw. I want to bring it up real quick before I know we're going to get ready to wrap things up at 11. From the All-Star game, right? Kyle Raleigh, who won the All-Star game. I'm not sure if you saw this video, but this went viral. This was when he was a kid. I want to play this real quick.
Champion for 2025.
Again, living out every child's dream. Kyle Raleigh, and to do it as a catcher, right? The next day was the All-Star game. Joe Torre came up to him, pulled him to the side, and they had a little one-on-one. I wish I was a little bit closer so I could hear what Mr. T said to him. But Joe Torre, we don't know him as a winning manager from the New York Yankees, but when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals, he was one of the best offensive and defensive catchers in Major League Baseball, winning an MVP as well. So to see a catcher put on the power display that Kyle Raleigh has put on this season, very impressive.
Do we know how many catchers have won the home run derby so far?
I can look it up right now. Off the top of my head, I want to say 2 or 3.
It can't be that many. It cannot be that many.
No, Salvador Perez with the.
Yeah.
I know he won.
It's the only one I remember off the top of my head. I can't think.
MLB. Okay.
We have let's see. C Money 301 says need a Yankee sweep of the Braves this weekend. As a Met fan, I'll take that. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh, okay. In MLB history, only one catcher has ever won the home run derby, and that was Kyle Raleigh.
He was the first. Salvador Perez never won that shit?
I thought Sal Perez won it, but I know he switched to first base. Let me see when he won it. Because hold on.
That's a technicality if that's the case. So he's first. Damn.
Yeah, he's the first.
That's crazy.
I could have swore Salvi Perez won.
Froggy Fresh says this is the year of the big dumper. All he does is mash baseballs right now. He is the Mariners. I mean.
Okay. He lost to Pete Alonso in 2021. He hit 28, and that's when Pete Alonso hit 35.
I thought he got in earlier than that, though.
No.
All right.
Well, shout out to Kyle Raleigh being the first catcher in Major League Baseball history to win the home run derby and beat Pete Alonso.
That's crazy. I think just to hit the trade deadline real quick, I think that's good. So we are planning a live crossover for that.
Yes.
And we'll get some people. We are planning a special for that. It's probably going to be, I don't know, maybe 2 hours or some shit.
Yeah,
but
that's going to be a big one.
It's going to be fun. And because I cover so much other shit that I'm just covering straight with baseball, like this one of the only things where it's like, okay, I am a fan of a team. Mm-hmm. I just root for the Mets and the Puerto Rican national team when it comes to events. That's kind of it. Seriously, like I'm looking at the AmeriCup and I'm like, Tremont Waters better be on the fucking roster. You know what I'm saying? Like we, can they talk Julian Strother into playing? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll be curious to see. I think the Mets and Yankees are both going to get busy. I think that I know the Mets have a need for pitching, for healthy pitching. We'll see what they do. Aggressive ownership also. The Yankees are never going to they're always going to be linked to somebody. I saw a report actually earlier today that they're linked to like David Robertson, for example.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the Mets too, by the way. So I was like, okay. And they're probably going to want some of the same guys. And then obviously their rivals, the American League East, when you look at the standings right now, like one good run and you could be like at the top of the division, say for like the Orioles. Although, I mean, if they can put together a few good weeks, who knows? But like the American League East is one of the most fascinating divisions in terms of what this trade deadline could be. I want to see if they get aggressive. Somebody I know who bets on baseball told me today, or was talking today about the Blue Jays. He thinks that they're going to fall off because their run differential is not great for a team who's 14 wins above 500. Their run differential, I don't remember if it was plus 17 or something along those lines. So I'm wondering if the Blue Jays are actually going to try to do something as well. But I don't know. And then Red Sox ownership, Boston fans don't trust them. So I don't know if they're going to do shit. But there's a lot of trade deadline shit that's going to be fun, I think.
I just got to say, so last week Wednesday, Latino Sports, we had our award ceremony for Reign of Grown. And that was the day that DJ LeMahieu was DFA'd by the New York Yankees. Earlier today, Brian Cashman messaged my boss, Julio Pavon, because Brian Cashman was supposed to be there to receive an award as well, because Brian Cashman was being acknowledged because he was behind the Latino Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association in getting put together and getting sponsorship or getting backing from the New York Yankees. So Brian Cashman was going to be honored. That day, early in the day, Brian, he messaged my boss saying, Julio, I can't come because I have like 3 meetings for the trade deadline, but here's a message that I have pre-written for my award. Over the past couple of days, Derek Jeter said that he spoke to Brian Cashman, and Brian Cashman said the New York Yankees are all in. Immediately after Julio said Brian Cashman's message, the award ceremony was over at 3:45 is when DJ LeMahieu got DFA'd. I think the Yankees are going to be all in at the trade deadline. And if you look at prospects that's going to be traded from the New York Yankees, Spencer Jones is going to be traded away. He's done a great job building his value as a home run hitter, high batting average in AAA, but he's still striking out at 38 or 39%. So if you're the New York Yankees, you got to capitalize while his stock is at the highest, because if he comes up to the big leagues performing the same way, striking out but hitting home runs, he's basically going to be Adam Dunn, who could steal 30 bases or 40 bases.
And if you're the Yankees, you also have to capitalize on Aaron Judge continuing to do this, continuing to do what he does. Like, it's not to say that it's going to be over next year, but nothing's a guarantee. He's 33. You know what I mean? And it's like it's almost unrealistic to be like, yo, can you do this 5 more seasons?
Yeah,
or 3 more years? Like, go get one. You know what I mean? Like, and you just went deep into the playoffs. You just got to the World Series. And even going into the World Series, I don't know how you felt. I kind of went into that like, man, I think the Dodgers are too good for everyone this year. As in 2024. I don't feel that way this year. I don't feel like anybody's unbeatable. I know the Dodgers are still really good. They've had some bad injury luck. But at the same time, like, I agree with people in the chat who are saying the Yankees need to be aggressive. Also, Froggy Fresh asks if the Mets could get somebody like Griffin Jax or someone like that. I mean, look, while they're getting a little healthier pitching wise, yes would be my answer, because like I don't know if Kodai Senga is gonna just stay healthy the rest of the season. You know what I mean? Like after just coming back and making a start. I want to say McGill. Yeah, McGill's still hurt. Although I went to that series. I went to a game where they played against the Rays and McGill was pitching and they got lit the fuck up. But I think the Yankees need to get aggressive. I think both New York teams need to get aggressive. And I'm not just saying that as a New Yorker, but like, you have to look at this being like, this is the year, but this is a year for the taking, so to speak. For each team, I think.
If you're a Met fan out there, obviously I know you're a Met fan, but if you're a Met fan that's out there, one name, and it's a familiar name, right? Not Jacob deGrom. I see some Met fans on Twitter wanting Jacob deGrom back, but Seth Lugo, that's a name that
he's
Met
the one
fans,
for me.
Yeah, that Met fans should be keeping an eye on. One, Latino Sports, we got to present him an award because he won the award last year for the AL Pitchers, Latino Sports AL Pitcher Award. We're waiting to see after the trade deadline where he's going to go so we can start planning that trip in September. So if he's in Queens, it's a lot easier. It's going to be a lot cheaper as well. So I want him to get traded to the Mets. But I would say Seth Lugo is somebody to keep on your radar as a Met fan. When you look at the Yankees, where the Yankees farm system is at right now, that's where the Yankees are going to struggle when it comes to making deals, right? Because the Yankees right now, I think they rank 24th in Major League Baseball. I know you're in the chat. I know you know this shit off the top of your head. Let me know where the Yankees rank in Major League Baseball when it comes to their farm system. But if the Yankees are 24th and you look at their top prospect in George Lombard Jr. being 26 in all of Major League Baseball, Brian, if you remove George Lombard from the Yankees system, because he's untradeable, the Yankees have the worst system in Major League Baseball. So if you're going to try to make a trade to try to get a third baseman and the reliever, you're going to have to try to entice a team that has 2 players that you could get back in a deal with your prospects. So, for example, if it's the Pittsburgh Pirates, could Brian Hayes to play third base, David Bednar, who's a closer, that's the perfect way that you could use your prospects to get 2 players back in any trade.
Okay, so if you know their farm system is in the bottom 7 or 8.
It's 23rd. So,
okay.
Bottom 7.
So bottom 7, 8 in Major League Baseball. How are you getting this done is my question. This is the equivalent of like when we talk about the Knicks and it's like you just use 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. You don't have a lot left to play with. So like, how do you get these deals done from this point forward? So how do you pull this off? Like what are you willing to offer, you think?
Well,
what are the Yankees willing to offer?
You're gonna start with obviously Spencer Jones, right? Because George Lombard Jr., he's untouchable. So you're gonna have to start the conversation with Spencer Jones. And then when you look at the Yankees, the rest of their farm system, somebody that you can maybe attach to it is Roderick Arias, shortstop, second baseman. He's in low A ball right now. somebody that was a big international signing, but never lived up to like quite the hype, because we like to put hype around a lot of Yankees prospects. I don't want to trade the rookie that came up, Cam Shittler, or however you pronounce his name. He looks phenomenal.
I hope it's not Shittler.
And it's pretty much I'm gonna show you right now so you can see, so you don't think I'm being a dick. Or to show the list.
I agree with Froggy, who says if the Yankees want to get Hader, they're probably gonna have to give up Spencer Jones. And
that's not gonna happen.
I don't think you want to do that. I don't know. Do you feel like they need a Hader level guy though? I
wouldn't say Hader. I would say Emmanuel Clase. Because when you look at the Yankees,
mentioned in the chat too. Clase.
Yeah, I would say Clase, just because when you look at the Yankees bullpen, both Devin Williams and Luke Weaver are free agents after this season. So you're gonna have to like pay one of them or pay both of them if you're trying to keep them. And the Yankees are trying to like bring down their payroll because they're trying to be cheap on the luxury tax. But look at Emmanuel Clase, he is signed until 2028. And that's somebody that's cheap. Very team-friendly contract. It's 2025 right now, so you'll have him for the next 3 to 4 seasons or 3.5 seasons.
I think Mitch Keller. We talked. I don't know if we mentioned that rumor here, but we both saw it before we started. I think that would be interesting for them. And as always with any sport, I think you have to look at who are the teams you can just kind of raid. You know what I mean? Like at the bottom of the standings, right? Like the Nationals, for example, have no reason to want to win right now. Who can you get? Pittsburgh is obviously going to be a hot one because they're bad, they're cheap, but they also have like useful guys on their roster. We just mentioned Keller, for example. The Rockies ain't got nobody, so don't look at the NL West.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Listen, I know a lot of Yankee fans want Ryan McMahon over here in the Bronx. Listen, there's a list out there. It's on Twitter. You can look it up. The worst Major League Baseball hitters since 2023. Since 2023, right? Anthony Volpe is third on the list. No, it's fourth on the list. Do you know who's number 5, Brian?
Who?
Ryan McMahon.
Oh, okay. And
you know who's number 6?
Who?
Fucking Alex Verdugo. Who he's had in that lineup.
Of course. It's funny. I think Froggy's on it where he says like, I think if the trade deadline happens or comes and goes, and the Yankees leave with Mitch Keller, and the Mets leave with Griffin Jacks, without giving up the absolute top prospects of each farm system, I think Mets and Yankees fans will be happy with that. I think they'll both want more than just that, but I'm saying purely from a pitching perspective, I think those are both a worthy upgrades, like good upgrades.
If the Yankees do not address their third base situation, the Yankees are going to be an early exit from the postseason. They'll make the they'll make it to the postseason with Mitch Keller. They'll get to the dance. The Yankees will get that postseason bonus, that shared revenue just from making it into the postseason. They'll get that. Maybe the Yankees will like that. But if you're trying to go back to the World Series, trying to improve your team, make it better than it was last year, you have to address the third base situation. And if you get a guy like Brian Hayes, who's a Gold Glove defender, he's not going to pop 20 home runs. He's not going to hit over 280, 250. He may give you 230, 240, but he's going to give you Gold Glove defense behind your starting pitchers. And we see when the Yankees have solid defense at third base, their pitchers perform a lot better. And that's what you're going to need. You need Gold Glove at third base, because we already know Anthony Volpe is a question mark at shortstop. Jazz Chisholm is a Gold Glove defender at second base, and you got Paul Goldschmidt, who has been solid this year at first base. You got to address the left-hand side of the infield for the Yankees, especially the way that Anthony Volpe is leading all of the all Major League shortstops in errors.
How many Yankee prospects do you think should be untouchable at the deadline?
I just think one, and that's George Lombard Jr.
But I don't think you're just giving away Spencer Jones, though.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like
that's why I want to use Spencer Jones to get 2 pieces back in return. I want to get David Bednar and I want to get Brian Hayes, or call up Arizona and try to get Eugenio Suarez and try to get that. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the fucking Zach Gallen, the pitcher Zach Gallen, who's having an off season this year. That's how I can see the Yankees improving. Brian, if I had my fantasy, I will fucking call up Cleveland. And I know Jose Ramirez is on a no trade contract, but I'm offering Spencer Jones and whatever I can for J Ram and for Emmanuel Clase. J Ram behind Aaron Judge, that's what you need. And J Ram will be the perfect mentor for Jason Dominguez, because Jason Dominguez is a switch hitter and they're literally from the same Puebla and DR.
What if Cleveland asks for 2 of your top 5 prospects? So it's Spencer Jones and 1 of Ben Hess or Bryce Cunningham. Would you do that?
Hell yeah, I'll do it. As long as it's not Cam Schlittler. Because I got to tell you like this, Yankee fans, when he made his start, Brian, were comparing him to Garrett Cole. And Yankee fans, they be jumping out the window, right? When Yankee fans compare him to Garrett Cole, it's like, what are you guys doing? But when Carlos Rodon compares him to Garrett Cole, then you need to pay attention.
And I don't think the Yankees are keeping both long-term Ben Hess and Bryce Cunningham. I think you have a lot of dudes who basically in the top of your farm system, if you're the Yankees, you have a lot of dudes who are probably not going to be Major League Baseball players for another, we'll call it 2 years, who are 22-ish. So I feel like you can package a couple of those guys, even though their farm system is not awesome. But like, look, a top 10 prospect is a top 10 prospect.
Yeah,
it's not all equal, because again, their farm system is 23rd. But like, look, if I have Ben Hess and Bryce Cunningham, and if you even go on down the list, you just posted it, Chase Hampton, Elmer Rodriguez Cruz, I feel like, and even going on down the line, you mentioned Schlittler, and there's others, Rock Selvage, like you can package a couple of those guys. The only thing is, like, you do at some point have to replenish the farm system. So what I would be worried about if I'm the Yankees, if you can't get something done, and it's because another team is like, well, we want better prospects, then that's when you have to be like, oh, okay. Like, and this is why, to use an NBA example, this is why the Miami Heat the last couple of years haven't been able to they just made a good Norman Powell trade, but before that, they haven't been able to get in the game for like Kevin Durant or some of these other players that they're always linked to, because teams are like, well, we want more first round picks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's part of, I hate when Reed Street does this shit with the thumbs up, but that's really what it is. And the Yankees could find themselves in the same position if somebody doesn't like their prospects. But ultimately, I think they have enough, because we're not talking about them getting someone who's like at the top of their game. I know Jose Ramirez would cost a lot, but I think they can get that done, to be honest with you.
When you're looking at the field and when you're looking at the other teams, there's going to be other teams that are trying to get Eugenio Suarez, which is the top third baseman right now. So if I'm
one of the best players on my fantasy team this year, also
he's crushing it as well. When he was at the batting cage during the All-Star game, like he was telling the reporters, he's like, I know I'm going to be traded, so I'm like mentally preparing myself to figure out where I'm going. So he knows that he's going to be traded over the next 7 days. But when you have him out there available, teams are going to be competing for him. So if I'm the Yankees, I'll let everybody go on a bidding war for him. I'm calling up Pittsburgh, right? And this is why I want Yankee fans to just target it on Pittsburgh, because you could get Brian Hayes, you could get David Bednar, and you could get Dennis Santana, a former Yankee who's having a phenomenal bounce back year with the Pittsburgh Pirates this season. David Bednar, I know last year he had an ERA over 5. He was dealing with injuries, but this year his ERA is below 3. I think he has a 2.6 something ERA. He has 1 more year of control. And like you said, replenish the farm system. This offseason, the Yankees have Devin Williams and Luke Weaver going to be free agents. You could attach a qualifying offer for both of them. So if they both sign with another team, you're going to get back some draft compensation, and you're going to get back some international free agent bonus pool money. So you could go out there and try to replenish your farm system. And that's how the Yankees need to operate, because when you're in this high luxury tax threshold where the Yankees are sitting at, and when you're always in first place, you're never going to get a top pick in the draft. That's never going to happen with the Yankees. And with how Major League Baseball has it set up, even if the Yankees were to tank 1 year, because they're in the luxury tax penalty, they'll move back 7 picks in the draft. So they still won't get a top 10 pick, even if they try to.
And honestly, you don't need to be in the top 10 to find like a diamond in the baseball draft. There's so many picks where it's like you don't need to. I want to say Jackson Merrill was 27th overall. from San Diego. And if you look at that draft class, he's probably one of the better players to come out of there right now, or is at least the only guy in the first round to make an all-star team. So I wouldn't stress that too much also. And I do think though, like that's a really smart way of looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, you're going to have to be creative, right? And when you look at the Mets farm system, Brian, it's something that I always bring up. The Mets farm system, they have one of the best farm systems in baseball.
They've done a great listen. The blessing in disguise of the year where shit just went off the rails between the 100-win season and last year, they were able to sell off so many guys, even though and Steve Cohen's like, you know what, I'll pay a percentage of this guy's salary, pay a percentage of this guy's salary, but they got back good players in a lot of these deals, or good prospects at least in a lot of these deals. And a bunch of guys we haven't even seen yet. I want to say Luis Angel Acuna was who they got for Max Scherzer. Yeah, that's what it was. Like someone like that, who I think is going to be good. I think, this year has been like up and down, but he's also, he's 23.
Yeah, there was some drama with Luis Angel Acuna, and then like one of my homegirls got in trouble for some shit that somebody made up. Somebody online was trying to say he got sent down because he was on a TikTok live during batting practice. That's not true. And somebody I know got in trouble for it. So I think that's pretty fucked up that you guys did that. So I just wanted to put you on blast.
I think he's gonna be pretty good. I'm not. I know people are panicking about Mark Vientos. I'm not long term.
No.
Sophomore slump shit happen.
Or Alvarez. When are the Mets going to call him up? Because I know the last time we did a show, I was expecting him to be called up.
It has to be soon. Because what they sent him down there for, like, he's actually, by the way, Luis Angel Acuna is batting like almost 300 in AAA right now. Granted, it's AAA, and everyone seems to be able to hit in Syracuse. But like Francisco Alvarez, I'm pulling up his minor league stats now because I saw that he's been doing really well. I had to drop him from my fantasy team, unfortunately, when he got called. He's got 8 home runs, 18 RBIs in 18 games. In the minors, 72 plate appearances only. You know what I mean? So like he
solid numbers.
His average is only 250, but his OPS is over 1,000. Like just clean right over 1,000. Like he's doing what he went there to do, which is fix his swing.
Yeah.
And defensively, he's never going to be a Gold Glove catcher. Okay.
Yeah.
So he needs to hit. Especially for power. And I think he could still be like that. He's another one where it's like, yo, he's 23. These guys are going to be 24 after the season. Ronnie Mauricio's look good at times this year. Like they have a legit, and these are guys that are playing now. This isn't even including, like, I think their top prospect is still Jet Williams. I don't know if he's actually going to be like the best guy when he comes up. Maybe that's the case. But like their farm system's legit. I think, and they have a couple guys that I think are underranked because they're so young, like Jeremy Rodriguez, for example, because he's like 19. But I think he's somebody that can break through a few years from now. Like we'll call it 3. But they have a legit farm system to get shit done, and they don't really have like a player in the minors where I'm like, you absolutely should not get rid of this guy under any circumstances. Like I kind of think at this point, like get a ring, like try to get one. Like they have guys that I'd prefer them not to trade, but I just named a few of them.
And I know a lot of Met fans, especially after this All-Star game, seeing Pete Crow Armstrong becoming like the face of Major League Baseball. And knowing that he was in your system and you traded away from Javi Baez, I think Jeremy Rodriguez in the 3 years when he comes up, he's going to make up for that because y'all got him in a deal for Tommy Pham. And Arizona, I know they're regretting it because he was their number one internet. They spent all their international money on him, on Jeremy Rodriguez. And even since then, he has been their largest signing when it comes to the international signing period. So Jeremy Rodriguez is going to be, he's still growing. Some people are projecting him because of how his body is filling out that he could move to third base. But if he's a shortstop with a big body like that, that's somebody, I'm not saying the A-Rod label, I don't want to put that on players, but that's somebody who's going to be special for you guys in 3 years.
He's the one, he's probably the prospect, even though he's ranked 10 right now. But I'm like, man, in terms of projections, I think his ceiling is so much higher than just 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny you mentioned third base. The concern, if you even want to call it that, is like, okay, where is he going to play when he does eventually come up? Because right now he's a middle infielder. Well, guess what? They have a lot of options at middle infield. And then at third base, it's like it's a cycle of like Vientos and Beatty and who's going to take the job long term. And then like by then you would think that one of them do it. This is kind of like the previous version of this was like Pete Alonso versus Dominic Smith. Remember that?
Yeah.
Silly me, I thought Dom Smith would actually be pretty good.
I thought Dom Smith was going to be better. And that's the same draft that they actually drafted Dom Smith like a few spots ahead of Aaron Judge. So I just wanted to throw that in. I just want to throw that in there too, Brian.
Dom Smith, the rare former Met and Yankee.
Yeah.
It's barely a Yankee, but still. It's funny. I think, let me see. Hold on.
Well, I was going to say real quick, when it comes to Jeremy Rodriguez, I think him being ranked as your 10th prospect in your system, it's a great sign. One, he's still a teenager, and two, you guys have way more top 50 prospects than the New York Yankees have. If he was in the Yankees system, he'll be the second best prospect behind George Lombard.
Didn't the Yankees cut Dominic Smith before he took an at-bat for them, like officially?
No. He had a few solid games. He was hitting like over 400 at one time in spring training. I made a video that
no, but I'm talking about like regular season. He didn't make it.
No. Yeah,
because when you go on Baseball Reference, his headshot is him with a Yankee hat, and I'm like, he technically never played a regular season game with them. But shout out to Dom Smith wherever you are.
Smith. I made a Captain Planet video in spring training with him, and that shit was that went viral. And then he got cut the next day, and everybody was like, "Well, you got to take this video down."
Yeah, but I think with the Mets, it's pitching, and then I feel like they could use. I feel like they could use another bat. Probably a power one, not one that's like you need to bat him fifth, fourth, so to speak. But like something better than fucking Daniel Vogelbach. Remember him?
I was gonna say a month ago, I had you guys pegged into getting Ralphie Devers. That's what I thought you guys were gonna get at the trade deadline. That's what I thought I had you guys getting at the trade deadline was Ralphie Devers, and then he got traded to San Francisco, and no other team didn't even know about it.
You mentioned Brian Hayes for the Yankees. Are you worried about his hitting?
No, because I want him for his Gold Glove defense at third. The Yankees. You
wouldn't care that he's probably going to hit eighth.
I wouldn't care. No, you can have him hit eighth and have Volpe hit 9. I wouldn't care. I want Brian Hayes for his defense, his Gold Glove defense, and if he gives you something with the bat, that's just a plus.
Is there anyone that you feel like they need to move off of, like not even prospect wise, but like? Is there a major league level player that you feel like they absolutely have to get this guy off the roster, be it because of a pending extension or because the player like maybe not producing to the level that they want him to, but still has some value? You just thought of a funny name, isn't it?
I was gonna say, well, DJ LeMahieu, he's already gone, so I can't use him in the conversation. Yeah. So if I was going to, not that they have to get off the roster because I don't want to take anything away from them, but what I would say is that we have Jason Dominguez now as the everyday left fielder with the New York Yankees. So you got Trent Grisham, who was a Gold Glove defender, as your fourth.
You were going to say Jason
Dominguez. No, hell no. I don't want. You think I want Grace to
call? That's why I looked. I was like, what?
Yeah, I want Grace to call me and curse me out right now? Absolutely not.
Yeah, facts. Grace will not. Listen, I'll probably curse you out too. I'm like, bro. Jason Dominguez was my preseason rookie of the year pick.
You keep and he's literally top 3 in every rookie category offensively. But when you have Jason Dominguez as your everyday left fielder and you have Trent Grisham as a Gold Glove defender as your fourth outfielder, you can use him in a trade. The same way the Yankees a few years ago, Brian Cashman was able to flip Mike Tauchman, former Yankee and Met great, Mike Tauchman for Wandy Peralta, and Wandy Peralta was a solid reliever coming out the bullpen for the Yankees as a lefty. That's a move that I think Brian Cashman could do. You flip Trent Grisham, try to get a reliever the same way how you flip Talkman for Wandy Peralta. Try to do the same thing with Grisham.
I saw somebody say that the Mets should try to call up Baltimore, who we just mentioned earlier, because Baltimore's had a disappointing season. Maybe they want to sell.
Disgusting, yeah.
And try to get Cedric Mullins and Greg Soto.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the cost is, though. I mean, it's prospects is the answer, but how many? 3?
It wouldn't be much just because Gregory Soto is not having the all-star closer season that he had when he was with the Tigers. So it's a guy that you could have just to be a 7th or 8th inning guy. Now, if it was
a bridge to Diaz.
Diaz. Now, if it was like a guy like Chapman, he's going to cost you some prospects. And that's the name that
you brought him up to me before.
Yeah, that's the name that I keep hearing, that the Mets are heavy end, but the asking price is just too high for them. They don't want to give up the prospects. And they're waiting to the trade deadline to next week because the asking price would come down. But that's the name that I hear the Mets heavily in on, is Aroldis Chapman.
I'm conflicted for obvious reasons.
Oh, of course.
But also, like, it's, these guys, like, they're not all dudes got records. It's sports. You know what I mean? So it's y'all know this as Yankee fans. For example, it's funny, if the Brewers are bad, which they're clearly not, they're 56-40. If they were bad, I think Stearns would probably call them up and try to like figure something out. But I don't think that's going to happen because the Brewers could absolutely try to win now. They still could win that division. The
Brewers. I don't know what the Brewers are doing because they have some prospects. It's like they're in the middle of like rebuilding, but still bringing up prospects, but still competing. They're trying to trade Peralta, Freddie Peralta. Why are you trying to trade your ace pitcher away? Like, to me, that's a red flag. If I see the Brewers are trying to trade him away the same way they traded Corbin Burns away, and then a year after they traded him away, he gets Tommy John. You're telling me something's not good with Freddie Peralta, and I'm staying the hell away from him.
And that's a small market team, also probably trying to avoid a big contract situation, is my guess. Which it bums me out because you see that in baseball so much. Like, the Marlins are the kings of this, and the Yankees always raid these guys. But like, the Marlins are the kings of this, where it's like, all right, a couple years before we have to pay somebody. Or in the case of Stanton, they just paid him and then was like, all right, we're not going to pay for all of this, so here. And then like this is what it is. You see that a lot with this sport. So I hope that's not going to be the case, but we're definitely going to. I mean, look at who we're talking about. We're talking about the Yankees trying to call up the Pirates and the Mets potentially calling up the Orioles. And, I'm sure it's not going to stop there. We for fun mentioned the Rockies. I seriously mentioned the Nationals because I think they have a guy or two that could probably help the Yankees, although they wouldn't be like the highest on the list. But like, I think we're going to see some of that too.
Or a sleeper for the Yankees is the Minnesota Twins, Willie Castro, and Johan Duran, the reliever. I love Willie Castro. Johan Duran, he throws 100 miles per hour. Also, he follows me on Instagram, so I kind of want to be selfish here, and I want him to to be in New York.
Cleveland, we mentioned. Also, I mentioned you mentioned Arizona. Also, too. God, if they trade Suarez, they could get a lot for him.
Well, he's just a rental for this year, so it's going to be people like
that's the thing. He's one of the guys who, like, you get him, and it's like, yo, all right, like he's somebody who can legitimately help you win a title, I think.
And he's only making $15 million. So if you split that in half, you're only paying him $7.5 million for the rest of the season. You're not bringing in a big contract that you're going to have to pay $20 million down the line for this season. He's a free agent after this year.
The pop that he can give you. It kind of like it's funny. I don't think the Mets will be in on him unless they're really worried about third base in a different way. I think he makes a lot of sense. He makes a lot of sense at Yankee Stadium, especially.
He does make a lot of sense with the Yankees, but I don't think the Yankees don't have, because the Yankees are going to be competing with the Tigers to get Suarez. And if that's the case, the Tigers got way better prospects than the Yankees. They have more top 100, top 50 prospects. The Yankees have one top 50 prospect. The Tigers, they have about like 5.
How many do the Mets have, actually?
The Mets, I think the Mets have
3?
4, 6. I know top 100 prospects. The Mets have 8.
No, they have 8. Yeah. I checked that also.
Yeah, I know. I know that the Mets have like 8 top 100 prospects. The Yankees only got 1 top 100, 1 top 50, and that's George Lombard Jr.
Before we go, also
Cuban. Who's Cuban? I had no idea he was Cuban, bro.
who?
George Lombard Jr. I had no idea his mom was Cuban, so he's half Cuban. His father is African American. He one of the bench coach for the Tigers, and he's half Cuban. And his mom is Cuban. So when me and Julio, my boss, was talking to him, my boss asked him like, "Hey, you're wearing 21. What's that's big for us Latinos." And the way he said Clemente, he was like, "Well, Clemente," and we both looked at each other like. He got some Tino in him.
He's from Miami. Like
I didn't expect, because his father's a baseball player, so I just expect that like he was just traveling around. But no, his mom.
Makes sense. He's from Miami. He absolutely 1000% looks Cuban. He looked like he would be an intern on Levitard's show. What's the best before we go? What's the best trade deadline deal the Yankees have made in your lifetime?
Oh, in my lifetime, I would have to say I was too young for David Justice, but that run David Justice went on with the Yankees was sick. But I would say it has to be 2009. That trade deadline, Jerry Hairston Jr., the Yankees brought over Damaso Marte. I think they got him the year before. Eric Hinsky as well. The Yankees made some moves at the 2009 trade deadline, and then I think in 2017 or 2017 when they emptied out the farm system to add, but they got Sonny Gray, which was a fucking horrible trade to make. But
for me with the Mets, it's the Yoenis Cespedes deal. That's
that's probably one of the best. Yeah,
I like because remember they were supposed to get
I was about to say the trade that was supposed to happen
wasn't as good. It was going to be
as good.
Carlos Gomez for Wilmer Flores, and I don't remember who else. It could have been Michael Fulmer also. And then they traded Fulmer and Sessa. Fulmer ended up being pretty good actually after that. He made an All-Star game after that trade.
Yeah. He was a solid starting pitcher for a couple of years, but then got injured and was moved to the bullpen.
Cespedes went on a fucking tear.
He went on a tear.
He has 17 home runs the rest of that season. Or something to that effect.
The neon green sea,
which is still a thing.
Yeah, he made it. But he made that a trend. He made that pop in. And then, of course, as a Cuban, he has to buy a farm and fuck his ankle up. Carlos Rodon has a farm also.
He was playing on the Cuban national team in the World Baseball Classic.
When this past one?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
I'm positive I saw. He also he had 17. I was right. 17 home runs and just 200 inside of 250 plate appearances in 2015 with the Mets. He had 18 home runs when they got him that year. He had 17 more with the Mets in less than 60 games. He single-handedly elevated that lineup because I was looking at them. I was like, yo, they're actually good. Like, if they add some hitting, like they could go far in the playoffs. And then that's the best trade that they've made in my lifetime at the deadline. At least.
Where the Mets messed up at with him was that they played him in center field. And that's what hurt them in the World Series, playing him in center field instead of left field or right field, and actually having an actual capable center fielder who could play defense.
Or at the very least, they should have made him I agree. They should have made him a corner outfielder sooner. It's a shame that his contract went the way it did, but I don't regret that extension at all. He earned it.
No, he definitely did. He made the Mets. I'm not gonna lie. As a Yankee fan, I was like, "Yo, this is pretty fun watching this fucking team and this guy with this fucking neon."
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The Mets
literally played MLB The Show, and I was like, "I'm putting that on Yankee players."
The Mets don't win. The Mets. I tell you this: the reason why I gave up on the Jets, for example, but I didn't give up on the Mets because the Jets haven't made the playoffs since I had braids in high school. The Mets, every few years they have these runs. Like they've just won enough, like throughout my lifetime. Like, so I'm a child, and they have that run from like 98 to like 2000. 98, they start bubbling. 99, they go to the NLCS. 2000, they go to the World Series. And then it's down for a bit, but then they have interesting prospects. Like you hear about this kid named Jose Reyes coming up and this kid named David Wright coming up. And then it's like, oh shit, okay, they're going to come up in like 03, 04, 05, whatever. And then from 05 to like 08, they're relevant. They have one playoff run, but they have like respectable teams that entire time. Then they go down for a bit. Then in the mid 2010s, they're back. Like they've given me like these runs, and now they're on another one. So We'll see what happens at the deadline. But I way more faith in Cohen than the Wilpons is what I'll say in terms of them putting something together. And then with the Yankees, to throw it back to them before we get out of here, they have moves they can make. I think the Brian Hayes package in Pittsburgh is interesting. You brought up Suarez, Ramirez. Like, there are a lot of options. I agree that third base is a hole they need to fill. I kind of agree with you. Like, if you emphasize fielding as opposed to, like, Brian Hayes is not going to cost an arm and a leg, for example. I think Suarez, because of his pop, because of what he could potentially do in the playoffs,
Agree,
especially at Yankee Stadium, like, he could cost a good amount. He could be so worth it though. So, and Ramirez goes without saying, he'll cost a lot if you have to go get him.
I would say 100%. That's why I want Brian Hayes over Eugenio Suarez, just because if you trade with the Pirates, you could get Brian Hayes, David Bednar, and Dennis Santana. You get 2 relievers for the bullpen, and you get 1 Gold Glove third baseman. If you trade with Arizona, you're going to get Zach Gallen, who's a starter, and Eugenio Suarez, who is not that great defensively at third base. He's going to give you some pop, but the defense is going to be suspect. That's why I want the Yankees to target Brian Hayes, Bednar, and Dennis Santana. And you know what? A trade that almost went down, that didn't happen, that would have probably been the fucking worst trade ever of all time. It was between the Yankees and the Atlanta Braves, 2014 trade deadline.
Oh God, remind me.
It was the Yankees would have gotten back Jason Haywood, Andrelton Simmons, BJ Upton, Chris Johnson, and David Carpenter. And the Yankees would have sent Aaron Judge, Luis Severino, Gary Sanchez, Manny Benuelos, and Ian Clarkin.
Oh my God. And you know what the Braves would have done? Soon as Aaron Judge hit like his first career home run in the majors, they would have signed him to a 6-year deal for like $40 million.
100%.
We should hit some comments before we get out of here.
Let's get out of here. My man Froggy Fresh.
We were riffing for a minute. Froggy Fresh asked, he asked me 2 questions. I wanted to get to them. It was another one before this. I'm looking for it. Oh, Brian, are you worried about Vientos at all going into the second half? Worried long-term for his career? Absolutely not. I think he's a stud. I think he's going to be fine. Second half, I mean, could you play him every day? I'd like to see him play through these struggles and come out on the other side. Guys have slow starts to the season. Francisco Lindor used to do this all the time until this year. It's why he was never an all-star with the Mets. So yes and no. I think for this year, I'm kind of like, you kind of have to turn it around at some point. Like he's too talented to bench or send down, but he's not good enough to play every day. So far this year is kind of the issue, right? But I would say yes and no. But they could probably work around him if he continues to struggle. But I think he needs to have a good August, and really, he needs to have a good next couple of weeks. The other part, and then Brian, you have a long-haired little birdie in the prospect system that the Mets had named Jacob deGrom. I don't think the Mets are going to reunite with deGrom. I know deGrom tried to debunk the noise about him allegedly hating New York. I'm not going to say that I whether I think he did or didn't, because I don't know. But I mean,
I don't think he hated New York. I think he hated the Wilpons because they were lowball. Like every time a contract extension, the talks, they just kept extending. Like I think the whole experience around his contract, I think they should have paid him beforehand. Again, hindsight is 50-50. He has injuries, but he definitely deserved.
What do you think of this? Rico Pavon says, if he stopped trying to hit home runs instead of hits, I'm good with Volpe.
Well, that's something that Alex Rodriguez brought up. And Rico also said earlier,
good point.
We need to demote Volpe. And
they're not going to do that.
When you look at the numbers, Kirshner put this out there on Twitter. When you look at the numbers on balls that are greater than 15 or less than 15 degrees that he hits, he has a a lower on base percentage than balls that he hits in the air. So when you look at his splits, it actually shows that his OPS is higher when he hits it in the air. I know people want Anthony Volpe to focus on hitting the ball on the ground and using his legs. That's not the hitter that he is. And I think what people have to realize is that it's okay if Anthony Volpe is not Gunnar Henderson. It's okay if Anthony Volpe cannot come close to like 50% of what Derek Jeter was. Let Anthony Volpe be Anthony Volpe. Ultimately, I think George Lombard Jr. will be the future shortstop for the New York Yankees, and Volpe will have to move positions, whether that's second base or if the Yankees flip him because they like Jazz Chisholm at second base. That's something that Brian Cashman is going to have to figure out. I don't get paid enough, or I don't get paid at all to discuss that.
Enrico says he heard the Yankees are checking in on Correa. I feel like one of the Mets or Yankees has checked in on Correa literally every season. One of them checks during the All-Star break. One of them checks during the winter. I feel like this happens every single year. And then he'll end up on one of the Mets or the Yankees when he's like 38 years old.
I love Carlos Correa. The thing is, his contract is what scares you away. When you look at his contract, I'm gonna put it up on screen real quick.
Yeah, I want us to look this up too because he did sign that. It was 6 years, $200 million that I remember. But
yeah, so when you look at it, right,
with bonuses like inside also,
yeah.
I think.
So he's at the peak. This year is the peak of the contract with $37 million. Next year, it's 32. The year after is 31. And in 2028, it goes down to 31. After that is when it become vesting options, or you could vest into 25 million, or you could just cut him and let him have 25 million. Vest for 20, or cut him and let him just keep away 20. Like, you're gonna have to pay him regardless, right? But if you pick up the vesting option for just 25 million, then you still have it for next year and next year and next year. It's up to you. And like, I don't know. I don't think the Yankees will go that route because of how the Yankees money system is set up right now.
I don't think the Mets would either because of that's just a lot of long-term money on the books. You obviously have Soto, you have Lindor. Alonso's going to want an extension, and he's earning it. Yeah. A lot of Met fans were out on him getting an extension leading up to the playoffs, where he kind of saved his own ass. And then you remember this year, like, what if he goes to the Giants? What if he does this? Like. And then they ended up just keeping him because they kind of were like, yo, go find a deal. And a long-term deal wasn't out there because people are worried about how he's going to age, which I understand, you know.
And both the Mets and the Yankees, they're at that luxury tax penalty threshold of 110% on any money that they bring in. So if either the Yankees or the Mets, they trade for Carlos Correa, that 37 million times. Hold on. I got to do the math real quick. Give me one second. 37 times 2 plus the 10%. That's 79 million your team will have to pay for Carlos Correa because you're in the luxury tax penalty. And as much as the Yankees need a third baseman, 79 million, that's more than what the Pittsburgh Pirates pay for their whole entire payroll.
Subway to Shea.
My man,
Ant, since you're here, what do you want the Mets to do at the trade deadline? Since we're wrapping up, we've been wrapping up for 20 minutes. But,
you got, if you're free for our trade deadline episode, we would love to have you on.
Oh yeah, on the day of the deadline, which is it literally? It's literally 2 weeks from today. Yeah. We're gonna Thursday. Oh man, I can't. I love trade deadlines so much for any sport, damn near. Although honestly, the two sports where the trade deadline is really awesome is like the NBA and Major League Baseball, the two leagues, I should say.
Yeah,
because WNBA doesn't have that many trades this year. Everyone's going to be a free agent, so I don't know how active it's going to be. NHL, I don't, whatever. And then football, like now we're starting to get more stuff happening, but it's still not the same. Mets needs relief pitcher, starting pitcher, center fielder, third baseman in that order. Yeah, I agree because I was saying before, like I think third base is not. It's not a huge I think they can be fine. But Vientos has to play better. It's pitching for me with them, and they'll be linked to all these pitchers like we talked about earlier. Was it Griffin Jacks that somebody kept mentioning? For example, I think that was Froggy Fresh. David Robertson was in the rumor mill also, and I think with center field is interesting because when they went into the season and it's like, okay, Jose Siri, I was like, yeah, I feel like they're going to upgrade that spot in July.
Yeah, I would say like the same needs that the Mets have are basically the same needs that the Yankees have. But I would flip flop. I would make it a reliever, a third baseman, a starting pitcher, and maybe an extra reliever, not a center fielder. Basically, almost like the same thing.
Yeah, and then Ash says they need a setup man, could use a center fielder and possibly a third baseman if they don't believe in the kids. I think that's the question. It's like, all right, if you don't think Vientos / Beatty is enough, do you try to go get, like we were talking about some of the third basemen for the Yankees? Like, do you try to go to? I think with the Yankees, you're talking about, okay, maybe it's Brian Hayes because of the glove. I think with the Mets, it's like I think they would want the bat more than the glove.
Yeah.
The glove, you want Vientos needs to be a better fielder too. That's part of it. But I also think if they went and got Suarez,
it will be okay because you have Lindor at shortstop. Lindor is the best fielding shortstop in all of Major League Baseball. I don't care what anybody says. I'll put that on mommy.
Yeah, I think to me the main thing is pitching. They need their pitching to be good enough because I could trust that that's a couple of their bats who have struggled can turn it around. I still think Alvarez and Acuna and Vientos, like at least one or two of those guys could pop before the year ends, but we'll see. This is the most baseball that I've talked in a minute, so I appreciate.
I was about to say I appreciate the conversation, Brian, and I just want to say this, and we're legit.
As somebody who primarily does basketball and boxing on their channel and is doing more baseball now that why the fuck not? This is the most baseball I've talked in a minute, so I appreciate it because people, they don't be doing enough baseball shit around where I work at.
You got to do more baseball stuff. Last thing I'm going to say is that with an opposite, how like I brought up, you guys can survive with Suarez at third base because you got Lindor at shortstop. The Yankees wouldn't be able to do that because of Anthony Volpe at shortstop. And this is not me beating up on Anthony Volpe, but the numbers really stand out. And he should have actually more errors than he actually does have. So that's why if you have Brian Hayes, Athletics have what?
The Athletic have Bregman and Suarez as the top third baseman. I don't see
Bregman going anywhere. Like I think the Red Sox want to keep Bregman.
Maybe, but I get the thinking because the Red Sox, like they do this sometimes. They just did it again this year, where it's like someone who you don't think they're going to trade, and then it's like the Red Sox operate as a small market team a lot of times, and it pisses their fan base off, even though they just won a shit ton of World Series over the last 20 years after not winning one for like 100. You know what I mean? They went a million years without winning a World Series, and then they just got like 3, 4 or whatever.
Yeah, and that's an issue. And then again, this could be another conversation for another show. But that's the issue, and that's probably we'll touch on it at the trade deadline. Cheap owners in baseball, and when you look at the Red Sox, they have an owner who doesn't like to spend money on their team. Same way how Jerry Reinsdorf with the Chicago White Sox doesn't like to spend money on the White Sox or the Bulls. You know what I just found out that he has a deal set up with the city, Brian, that if he doesn't meet a certain amount of tickets sold for the season, he gets to keep the gate money.
The Bulls are one of the worst run organizations in sports since Michael Jordan left. Since Pippen and Jordan were gone, actually.
I'm gonna stand on this horse. # we need to get the cheap owners out of baseball. The cheap and basketball sports, period. The cheap owners is what's keeping the leagues back. All three of the leagues. I don't care what anybody says.
And here's what I would say to that is like, 1, billionaires are not the most charitable people. 2, again with the thumbs up. I gotta stop doing that. I'm counting. Restream.
It's not Restream. It's your laptop. It's your Apple. You got a MacBook, right?
Yeah. Shit.
Not the only way. It's not doing it for me. I don't know why, but yeah.
Let's see. No, nothing. Yeah. Now my laptop is trolling me. What I was gonna say, and the other thing is like, billionaires don't become billionaires by saving by spending money.
True.
They do it by saving it. They're just doing it because they're want to get that kind of money. You have to be lucky, possibly screw over a lot of people, and also just like keep it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these people do charitable shit because that money comes right back to them when it's tax season.
And this episode is sponsored by Zoran Mandat. No, I'm joking.
He was in Ridgewood the other day. I was like, damn, I grew up in Ridgewood. Missed that. He kicked ass in Ridgewood too, not for nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, to put a ball on it, I agree. Mets need pitching. Yankees need third base. Mets might need third base. And Ant says the center field market is weak. That's the thing too. Like I feel like the Mets kind of need a reliable, probably a more reliable center fielder, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
So, but I think both New York teams are going to get very active in the next 2 weeks because they both understand like their window is absolutely right now. So do some other teams around the league. So I think they're going to operate like big market teams and try to be buyers, and that's fun. I love when both baseball teams are like legitimately like competitive and are trying to make these type of moves. Like this is what I remember when I was younger, and like that mid 2000s run to late 2000s run where both teams were getting after it. They both had like every year they had multiple all-stars and that kind of shit. Like this is what I like. So we're gonna have a great trade deadline show. Can't wait.
No, definitely. You guys, make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. It's your guy Hector Beauchamp, Uptown Sports TV. And I got my guy Brian Fonseca as well.
Discord.
I was just about to say in the description. Going forward, we're going to be dropping our link to our Discord, but we got an announcement to make. Brian, drum roll.
Do you actually have
a folks, we are launching a Discord. This Discord, we will be welcoming in different sports fans or sports fans to have great sports conversations, but we're going to make it interesting because we don't want people to be assholes. Like myself, Brian, also Nabila from Latino Sports. We're going to be having other content creators be a part of it as well, so they could drop whatever articles, whatever videos, whatever live streams, anything that they're doing. And this is a way for all of us to bring in all of our communities. So everybody from Uptown Sports TV, everybody that follows Brian, everybody from Latino Sports, we will all have our one Discord so we can have these conversations and keep things going when we're not live on YouTube, TikTok, or wherever we're at.
Yeah, we want to do a better job of finding people. It's essentially the case. And it's like, listen, with the YouTube algorithm, it's tough. So we want to keep it, we want to centralize it. And we have a whole bunch of shit ready in that Discord. There's going to be channels for basketball. There's going to be channels for baseball. And baseball is in like MLB, but also if you want to talk about like other leagues, you can do that.
Yes.
If you want to talk about the draft, you can do that. World Baseball Classic, which is going to be happening next year. We're going to do that. You know, basketball, there's going to be NBA, WNBA, international, which I'll be in that one as well, especially because we were talking about the continental cups that are coming up. Boxing, which I cover a lot of. So if people are interested in boxing, MMA, we're going to have some of that as well. Any sport, there's going to be a channel for, so we're going to be launching that. Football also, both American and the world's game, soccer. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff there. And yeah, we just want to kick it. And we want to do it in a way that's like responsible, I would say, because a lot of people are dicks online and on social media, and we're not trying to create that type of environment. So yeah, we want y'all to be in there. We're gonna get people in there. It's gonna be free, also. We're not gonna charge, but we're gonna make sure that if you get in there, you're solid, and if you fuck around, you might find out.
Definitely. We don't take no chances, right? So you may get one strike, if that. But no, again,
if we know you, it's a little, like
if we know you, we'll stretch it out.
Sarcasm is welcome, jokes are welcome, but just
just know that we're trying to be respectful to one another. This is sports. At the end of the day, we're not trying to solve world hunger. If we can, that's a plus. But one thing I want to say is that when it comes to working with you, Brian, working with Nabila as well, working with Future, working with Ghost as well, everybody that's behind the scenes, the people that's going to be a part of it, I look forward to it. Being around like-minded individuals in sports is very rare. So when you do find your people, when you do find your corner of the internet, you want to gravitate to it and you want to stick by them. So that's why I'm excited for this adventure we're about to jump on, Brian. I didn't write that or practice it, I promise you.
Me either. Yeah, no, but it's going to be fun. We're going to launch it in the coming days, we'll say, before the end of the month. That's what I would say, by the end of the month. So we're hoping to have it up and running by the trade deadline, because that'll be a day to really get active on there.
Be live, go back and forth. Yeah, absolutely. And I promise y'all, Brian would start being live on TikTok more. I'm gonna twist his arm and make him go live on TikTok. Because this stream was dope. We was actually live on TikTok, so that was pretty dope.
Yeah. We did an hour and a half. Longest baseball show I've done in a minute, which I appreciate. Listen, baseball's back this weekend. It's gonna be exciting. And I think these next 3 months plus, including the World Series, is going to be great. And I'm pulling for a Subway Series, but we'll see what happens.
Hey, it's going to be determined by this trade deadline. So hopefully both front offices put on their big boy pants and actually go to work. But until next time, y'all, my name is Hector. It's my guy, Brian. You were supposed to say your name, Brian. I pointed to you.
I thought you froze. This is what happens at almost midnight.
All right, so I'm Hector, and this is
Brian.
Copy, and we'll be live next time. Appreciate you guys. Drink some water, stay hydrated. Arriba the Dirty, and like always, deuces.